All right. I'm going to start out with talking about the engine, the 454 that I previously had. It did have issues, and the plan was to bring it to the machine shop. Well, today's Friday, but my father-in-law called me this morning. He said that his neighbor possibly has one, so we got a hold of him, and he has an entire camper that has a 454 in it and a 350, a turbo 400 transmission. So being a camper, it's going to be two-wheel drive, so I won't have the transfer case or nothing like that on there. And it's already put together. The engine and transmission is. And he's wanting to sell the entire thing a lot cheaper than what I could probably fix my engine for. So even if I did fix my engine cheaper, I still have to get the transmission. I still have to get a torque converter. And that alone, you're looking at probably $1,000. So luckily, this guy has one. And come the first of the week, I'm going to go look. Man, I can't talk. I'm going to go look at it. And he's going to try and get it running. So he's going to try and find an old carb sitting around. He's going to throw it on there. And he's going to try and get it running. So if the engine's running, awesome. It's going to be good. We'll put that in there. But right now, while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and clear out the center section of this bus. So while I'm waiting on that, I've talked about this 1,000 times, but I do need to take this floor panel up here, half this one out, put the engine there. Now the only issue is this transmission engine's going to go right here, so I have to get rid of these cross members. The idea is to cut these off at the frame. I'm going to bolt off, or I'm going to weld on right there, come out with some square tubing, and go back along these on each side. So that way this will still have 2 points of contact on both sides of these bars. And I will bolt them, do whatever I need to. But as of right now, really, they're just sitting on top of the frame. So they're not bolted or welded or anything like that. So I'm going to work on getting this up and try and figure out what to do on that next. All right, just got off work. Go ahead and put these on. So these are the braces I said that I was making. Going to come out, bolt to the frame. This is actually going to support here. I'm going to go ahead and run some bolts in there. Hold that to the frame, and then I can cut that center section out. Once that center section's cut out, I'll be able to fit the engine, transmission, and bolt the driveline in. So, yeah. Well, she's all welded in. And what better way to test it than bounce on it, you know? Hell, I probably not a sight you want to see, but it's like 120 pounds. If it can hold that, it can hold the bus. We're good. All right, so that's this bracing. Both of those are on real quick. This is actually braced right there, so I'm not going to worry about bolting it. What I'm going to do is cut it right here, because that is still bolted on. But these, I'm going to dig out a hole here. Drill a hole down in there, just 3/8 bolt, just enough to hold that to the frame. That actually left me plenty of room. This bar is going to come out, but it looks like it's just riveted in. So I'm going to cut those rivets. Only thing that there should be is this cross member. And I don't think I need to worry about that back bar. It's also not supported, so I don't plan on taking it out just yet. I really need to get a block and a transmission in here just to figure out what length it is. Whether I just get a block and just put it in here or whatever, I can measure out a transmission. And I guess the next step is motor mounts. So either Wednesday or Thursday, I need to run to Longton. And I gotta look at that camper. Now I got a picture of it today, and it's a Walter White special. I mean, that sucker is massive. So I'm going to go take a look at it. Guy's supposed to throw carb on it, see if it runs. If it runs, we're going to get it. I can go ahead and bring it back here, or leave it out there, do whichever, and tear it apart. So once I get that engine and transmission in, or out, I guess, then the idea is just go ahead and drop it straight in here, because I know that's a running engine at that point. Drop it in here to where I can start building around the engine. Once the engine's in, I can worry about the floor. I can worry about everything else. And that's the last big chunk. So once, like I said, once it's in, we're going to hammer down on some stuff, because I'm able to just start throwing paneling, flooring, whatever. All that is going to be super, super simple. I say simple like it's going to be easy. I'm saying like it's easier than what this is. So, anywho, just got off work here. I'm going to mess with this bus. So, I went ahead and made some mounts. But I'm running into an issue here. And I'll go ahead and flip this around and I'll show you. The big problem here is I got the length of the engine and the transmission. And originally how I was going to do these mounts was they were going to come up at an angle and catch the side of the block, more like right here. But that would put the oil pan right above this, and the oil pan does go down, but I would be hitting it at the most shallow part towards the block, and putting it against there actually puts my tail shaft on the transmission about the height of this frame. Now, the big issue with that is the tail shaft ends right past this last brace. And with that, I only have probably a 1.5 feet there of room. And so I cannot have that. Right here is okay for a drive line. But when you start getting into that steepness, the amount of pressure that I'm going to be putting on this drive line and the U-joints and everything else like that by trying to spin the tires, it's going to be too much in there, and I don't want to sit there and blow U-joints out all day. So if I can make that drive line angle a little bit less steep, it'll be a lot easier on the drivetrain. So with doing that, I'm going to have to get rid of this cross member. And this bar was already going to go, so that's not going to be on there. So I got to get rid of this cross member, take the rivets out, and actually put the motor mounts to where they're going to be damn near flush with the frame. Doing that, there's going to be a lot of weight. It's not going to be directed down on an angle. It's going to be straight down. So, what I'll end up having to do is re-brace this frame somehow to be able to support that weight. And I will end up having to put gussets eventually into that deal, into the mount itself. But the idea is to get the engine set in here, and I can build around the engine. That sucked. I wasn't expecting that. Oh. Yeah. Too fat for this crap. Okay, here's the motor mounts. For right now anyways, I am going to come off the bottom of this frame and go ahead and gusset it. But first, like I said, I need to get this engine in here first. That is very, very solid, but I just want more on there. The idea is whenever this engine does get set in here, I'll take a drill bit, drill a hole, use a reamer. That way I'll fit that motor mount. And that'll be a lot better than me just trying to guess and figure out where these holes are. That way I'll be able to tilt the engine, do whatever I need to, and not screw it up before the engine's even here. So those are in. The only issue now is these plates were in the way. I did not want to move them again. That's supporting all that crap. So I'm just moving the engine up another 6-7 inches, which there's my seat. So I'm getting very close to sitting on the engine basically. I'm going to go ahead and cut right here and cut me out a section. That probably wasn't the smartest idea. Go ahead and cut out a section, probably a square, not a whatever that was, but get that out of the way. That way I'll have room for the pulleys, harmonic, all that other crap, and it won't be touching. So I'm going to cut that. I got that hole cut out, motor mounts are in. Like I said, I'm waiting for that engine so I can drop it down, get the holes where they need to be, drill it, set the engine down, just put a bar across there to be able to hold the back of the transmission, and I'll end up making a mount for that. For it, I really need to get the length of everything. Hoping this weekend I can go get that camper. Really, it's an RV. That sucker's massive. So the next video is probably going to be trying to get that thing over here and get it ripped apart. And all these videos that I make, you guys are probably thinking like, oh, all these days are really mixed up. Well, like I said, I only got 30-45 minutes to work on this thing every day. And all my days are probably merging together in these videos. So today's Wednesday. And like I said, I'm hoping to get that engine over, or that camper over here this weekend. Other than that, that's about as far as I'm going to be able to go on this. As far as the flooring, I may mess with a couple things outside of the bus, but that's about it. So video is probably a little bit more boring than usual because there wasn't nothing eventful happening, but still appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully we can get into some more interesting stuff in the next couple videos. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. Take it easy.